Hello and welcome to the Ratchet Clank Rift Apart Spoilercast and review from GigaBoots. I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and we've got the full crew this time. We've got Bob.
Hey.
From GigaBoots. We've got KZ from KZExcellent.com.
Hello.
We've got Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
I'm an unoffensive stereotype, don't you know?
And we've got Dr. Aggro from Dr. Aggro.
I'm also an offensive stereotype, but of robots, so you can't tell by my voice.
Oh, and since I didn't get to say one, and welcome to Ratchet Clank Rift Apart Spoilercast review.
Ruh-roh, Ratchet.
Zoinks! For people who haven't joined us for one of these before, what we do is we start with a description, a quick synopsis each of how we feel on the game, like 2 or 3 sentences, followed by a sound. Then we have the full discussion of various elements of the game, sharing stories and criticisms and things we enjoyed immensely. And then at the end of this, we will give our final reviews and scores. So you got to stick around. Well, let's get things started. We're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Feel. Mr. Feel, give us a synopsis of how you feel, a summary, and a sound.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is really great. I have almost no problems with it. It was pretty much a joy start to finish. So I'm going to give it a yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to Bob.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, every time I turn it on, I'm re-impressed by just how crazy it looks.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like a video game should be moving like it does. I have a few minor problems with the story and some other level design stuff, but it's really fantastic. I'm going to have a, banana.
Okay, I guess next we'll go to Crunky as in KZ Excellent. KZ?
It's not often that we get to play a brand new, high-quality video game that is joy compressed into a video game-like shape, but we have it here with Rift Apart. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to give it
a... Okay, and Dr. Aggro.
They made a new Ratchet and Clank game that isn't based on that shitty movie universe, and it runs at 60 frames a second and is really fun to play. I'm gonna give it a
winning.
You can just hear lotto sounds in the background, like he's playing slots. Okay, and now I'll do mine. This game is absolutely stunning. The experience of playing this on an OLED is unreal. It's inconceivably gorgeous. And even the fidelity mode, even though it's 30 frames per second, still feels really responsive for a fidelity mode. Like, it feels much better than Demon's Souls did in its 30 frames per second fidelity mode. This thing is stunning. It's a joy to play. I'm going to give it a oh yeah!
The cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop always rises to the top. Just throwing coffee creamers in your head.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Sony make a meme GIF of that with characters from the...
See, I need that with Quark.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
that would be perfect.
See, I don't have a problem with Sony doing those GIFs that some people do. I do have a problem with it just being like The Office.
Yes, they
need to like remake an Aqua Teen GIF where somebody gets set on fire.
Jesus.
They could just remake that one bit where it's Frylock at the door banging on it. Carl and they're saying, "Damn it, go away."
I don't think we're getting Sony to remake any Aqua Teen segments, unfortunately.
That would be so good.
It would.
I just want to imagine one of the Nefarious as Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking, hey! Joel from The Last of Us. Damn it. Go away.
None of this matters.
I want to see Joel and Ellie wearing those giant computer headsets with the orange visors and the pianos on their backs.
Oh man, this really went off the rails. So Ratchet Clank ripped apart.
Just get it out. Sure.
Ripped a nut.
Let's talk about it. We had multiple summaries already mentioned this, but Jesus Christ, that game looks good. Like, you can't put it down for any amount of time, come back and not be re-amazed that this is by far the prettiest looking video game and possibly better looking than any CG film has ever been.
Yeah, like I played the whole game in performance mode.
Yeah.
And it was still really pretty. And then like today I turned on fidelity and I'm like, holy shit, is this what else is in here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. It literally looks so good in the fidelity mode. I'm like, this is a bullshot in motion.
Yeah.
This is the Killzone 2 CG trailer of video game.
You know, I never booted up fidelity mode. I just had it performance ray tracing the whole time.
It's nuts.
Oh, you should try at least performance without ray tracing because the resolution helps.
Yeah, that I turned on with ray tracing. I'm like, I wonder how much I can. Oh my god, even I can see that res dip. Holy shit!
I actually really enjoyed the ray tracing changes how everything in the game looks.
Yeah, like just seeing the way Clank looks compared to not having it, it's hard to go back.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Man, there are so many tiny details you never entertained a video game would do. Like in Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, when you shoot an enemy with your normal blaster gun, they have subsurface lighting in their skin as it lights up from the shock of the plasma. I'm like, what the fuck am I playing? Like, this isn't one video game. He's like, just make them flash red. I hit an enemy, make them flash red, make them have an effect pop up. Not this, like, I'm watching their organs light up from the inside level of insane fidelity. And I'm just like, holy shit.
And make, like, the perfect ripple from where you hit them, too. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an issue of, is this the best looking game ever made? Because it is. And it's so obviously is that it's kind of embarrassing. Does this also look better than every CG movie ever made?
Yeah.
It feels like it because you look at like the facial animations they do and it's really good.
Uh-huh.
And I really was able to tell when I turned on big head mode and then was given a rivet in the spaceship scene where it's highly animated, but she's a third of the entire screen.
Because your head's fucking huge.
Yeah.
The big head mode is a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I can't deal with tiny head or big head mode.
Tiny head mode's an affront against God.
Yeah, I turned that on for a little bit of my playthrough. Was like, okay, it's been 5 minutes. I need to turn it off because I hate it.
Yeah, because if you have little head mode on, you cannot see the head anymore because the backpack robot will always be over the
eclipsing. Yeah.
I will say that I experienced a couple of on performance mode, a couple of visual glitches that I was wondering if anybody else saw, because I mentioned it to Dan and KZ and they didn't seem to have like during every cutscene, every transparent or translucent orange glass surface, of which it's a Ratchet and Clank game, there's a bunch, had a bizarre like blocky zigzagged line over it.
Huh.
Yeah,
something going wrong in the reflection. And I'm like, if you guys didn't see that, I'm thinking that's just another symptom of my PS5 is broken in a weirdly specific way.
Yeah. Because you did mention, for people who are new to this podcast network, don't know this, Aggro's PS5 is haunted. It can't even boot Returnal.
Oh, it'll boot it. It'll just crash. I'll get a good 2 minutes and it'll crash.
And then you also had problems with Miles Morales on PS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that and a few weird facial fur look kind of weird during cutscenes sometimes.
Oh, that's just how the Morts look.
God.
Yeah.
I love those guys so much.
I had Dr. Nefarious's head break once in a cutscene.
What?
Actually, it was in every cutscene from point on. Where like the space inside his glass was like solid black, like you had just clicked magic wand in Photoshop and deleted it.
That's weird.
It was nothing else. It was just that. Also, the game crashed on me as soon as I hit the credits.
I had the game
Weird.
crash on me once when I booted up challenge mode after beating the game. It just crashed.
That's also what happened to me. That happened to me also.
I had a crash when I went to fidelity mode, but that's just my PS5.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't tell if this is a bug or if I'm just really stupid. But I had a lot of trouble getting into challenge mode the first time, where it's like if I change the difficulty, it was either changing the difficulty or changing the performance, the fidelity mode, visual mode in the menu before the game started, where it forgot I was in challenge mode and just started a new game.
Weird.
That's
Wow.
bizarre.
I had to leave it on, I think it was the visual mode, because I had to leave it on the visual mode I was on, start a game, confirm I was in challenge mode finally, and then restart from the checkpoint in the different mode.
Huh.
I had a really weird glitch where, you know those little weapon previews you get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those stopped working halfway through the game just completely. I hit the button and it just
wow.
show me like the window the video should be in, and there's nothing in it.
Did you at least get the audio?
No.
Oh no,
Did you
missed
get
out
hung
on
up
great
there? Did you have to
lines.
restart?
I didn't have to restart. I think that happened to
Okay,
our playthrough on the live stream.
Yeah. I think
I
our
got
live stream.
frozen on one of those.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but then we couldn't watch the preview video when we came back because it registered us as having seen it, if I remember correctly.
You can rewatch the preview videos all the time.
Oh, it just didn't pop up the way it does when it's new, where it shows
Right,
you
yeah.
that before you get to that menu.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Or it's just like, hey, do you want to listen to Zim? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Because
Right.
boy, is he nailing it.
But yeah, it was really bad to the point of like I couldn't like even trying to rewatch any of them. None of them would work. And this was after a reset too.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I guess I lucked out by having like no bugs or glitches, because they're like, the last Sony thing you had to do a spoiler cast on, we tried to kill your console. So we'll
Yeah.
give you a break.
They tried their best.
We shipped 8 months early.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like this shipped a little early because it does have these glitches for people. Luckily, my run through was mostly glitch free. One of the best glitches we got was the sky thing, which there's a clip on
Oh my
Twitch.
God.
It's so bad.
That's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
So imagine one of those intros for a television show that's like a dramatic one where they do a time lapse. So you see the sky form and it's cloudy and it flies super fast. Now imagine you had control of the sky's time lapse by the rotational angle of your camera. And that's what happened on the pirate planet. It looked fucking incredible.
Awesome.
I was like, this is the best kind of glitch. The kind of glitch that just lets me look at this really cool effect and play it back and forth. Meanwhile, Bob had that one where he leapt to a platform, hit the crystal, and then the platform he was on became the ocean.
Yeah, that was actually the problem. That entire area, if I switched zones, it would be like I didn't load in anything in this other zone when you hit the crystal.
Man, that's weird.
Yeah, it didn't fix itself
Wow.
until I killed myself. And it was like, okay, I figured it out.
I better kill myself
See,
now.
I expected the game to have problems when I sequence broke that one side objective on the mining planet where they get the material, what was it, phase quartz?
Yeah.
Because if you have the hover boots before that, you can make a double jump to a thing, so you completely ignore the challenge to get there. I was like, this is going to make the game crash.
I found out that later on, because I got the platinum after I beat the game. I needed to go back to that planet and hit that crystal because it didn't register that I hit it, and that's one of the trophies of hitting every crystal.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I didn't hit it.
Yeah. Hitting the crystals on that planet. Like, I got the trophy for it. I'm like, wow, I'm glad I didn't miss one. Jesus.
Yeah, I also got stressed of like, oh.
After I sequence broke it and just skipped the thing, I wanted to see what it wanted me to do, so that's why I went back and hit those. I had no idea.
It just plays the scene twice.
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that. On the planet with the monks,
Yeah.
there's the race you can do where you're racing up the
Yeah.
defense system, the security defense system. If you go back there, it replays the dialogue.
It does.
So you're back in the past. Kit isn't called Kit anymore. The
Yeah.
subtitles,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I went back there when, the teams switch up.
Oh.
and it still plays her dialogue. She's not
haunting you.
She's not actually there.
Jesus.
I figured there'd be some dialogue mix-up in a game with this much fucking dialogue.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's just like you've got two duos, and then you can swap out, like, you know, as we were mentioning, at some point, Kit isn't with you.
All of it recorded from home, by the way.
Yeah. Did you guys know that? The Digital Foundry interview with Insomniac talking about the tech with this game, they said every line in this game was recorded from home.
Wow.
Yeah, the Insomniac just sent every voice actor the kit. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
You know who
shit.
should be sent a kit?
Huh.
Sean Schimmel.
I haven't heard anything
I don't know
Shovel's
what the
been
problem is.
in. I haven't heard anything Shovel's been in since a long time ago. Like the beginning of Super. But yeah, no, it's listening to them talk about the tech of this game is pretty good. Anyways, let's get off glitches. Let's get off how unbelievably it's gonna be hard, but let's get off of how unbelievably good this game looks. As a Ratchet and Clank game, this is one of the best. Like, it's definitely up there.
As soon as you get past the first section, because I started to get worried with how long and frequent some of these cutscenes were and how hand-holdy the opening was. But the moment it just drops you in a level and lets you play Ratchet and Clank, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, it feels really good. Also, it has a lot of fresh ideas. Like, I think the whole cityscape in that first area is really, really different for a Ratchet and Clank. And they still kept side objectives in there. But it still has, you know, almost the Snow Beast-like area where it's just, here's a giant open area. Go find all these monks and all these spheres you can deactivate, these security spheres. And
of course, there's
Yeah,
some
that was-
horrible problem.
of course, there's...
Yeah,
They're like, here you
get
go.
the Lorbs.
This planet is for OCD people. And I'm like, thank you. I love collecting these things. And they're like, we buried one 14 feet underground and you can't get to it until you get to the end of the game. Meanwhile, I spent like
Oh,
30
God.
I
Yeah.
spent 30 minutes on that planet going, where's the last gold bolt? Where are you?
Yeah, that was I finally broke down and I'm like, I wasn't going to Google. I wasn't going to do a guide for this, but where the fuck is it? I have been everywhere.
I'm glad it's not just me, Aggro, because oh my God.
Okay, I did have a Google moment when I was going through on my stream for the game, where you go to Rivet's planet, which is the one that has the cereal honeycomb mascots, the Morts.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, the works are great.
Yeah, me want honeycomb, don't you know? So I got on Trudy, that the dragon thing, and they're like, they want you to get like the fruits or whatever.
The
And they
Zerp stones.
Yeah, the Zerk stones. Now, they make you do a little bit on foot before you get enough to actually fly. I got those, and then I moved on to the flying thing. And then my first problem was, there's some up here, I don't know how to get them. I'm crashing into the building multiple times, and they're like... So I Google it thinking it's a bug, and they're like, once you get a certain amount, you'll be able to get those. And I'm like, okay,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
fine. That was
Yeah.
my big problem. I hit the end, and I went, you're missing one. It's not marked. And I'm like, did this bug? I finally look up a guide, and it shows a whole map lighting them, and then circles a spot saying, these aren't marked, they're the tutorial ones. I missed one of the tutorial ones.
I did the exact same thing, KZ.
Yeah, and I thought I was going insane, where I'm like, I spent 45 minutes on this minigame,
Yeah,
collectively.
yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
I even knew about that problem, so I was trying to be extra careful with the tutorial ones. I
Yeah.
still didn't do it.
Jesus.
And then when I finally found it, we're free. We're free. That was probably the only prevailing problem I had with the entire game, was that moment of like, what the fuck? Come on, just mark them.
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, for me, in that area, I actually got one more Zerp stone than you were supposed to, because I Skyrim mountain jumped up the side of a thing that you were clearly supposed to get when you were flying and able to land as Trudy.
Good. That's like Death Stranding, using the bike to go up mountains.
Yes, it felt good. I thought it was intentional. It was not.
Yeah, no way.
No, your brain is just
There was a
massive.
lot of good messing with the terrain to jump in this one, which It's nerve-wracking in a Ratchet and Clank game because Ratchet and Clank is a series where you can get stuck in geometry and you're fucked.
Yeah,
but
that happened a couple times to me.
This is like the first game where I ran into an invisible wall and I felt grateful that it was there. But I'm like, okay, so I'm not going that way. Thank you. Message received.
The gameplay overall kind of reminded me a little bit with going through the platforming and all the tools they give you to Mario Odyssey a little bit.
Yes, because how you can hop off the wall and then dash backwards to get more height.
Yeah, stuff like that. Where I almost immediately, when you're in the Nefarious City level, where it became this method of, okay, I'm gonna jump, air dash, hover to something, grab it on the edge, jump off, and then dash back forward to get onto something. And that method worked through the whole game to sometimes get gold bolts in the opposite direction they wanted. Where I'm jumping on rooftops and getting on the backside. I'm like, the other side here has a normal platforming. But I did it this way, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They took away the squat jump, though, which kept bugging me the whole time.
Yeah, that was very weird because it's been with the series so long, and I don't disagree with that decision. It felt weird because there was no squat jump.
This is one area I had a problem with in the game with it feels like they give you like a huge tool set for movement. And after you get the hover boots, the only level those hover boots are designed to work in, I feel, is the level you get them in. Everywhere else, they seem like overkill and like they're not designed around.
Oh, absolutely, because I went full ADD mode where I'm like, I gotta keep going. So I'm mashing that hover boot even in like interiors to like shoot over to the next area, which means I kept cutting off incidental dialogue they recorded.
Yeah, you're missing a ton of incidental dialogue.
Yep,
You're missing, like, the levels don't even make sense anymore. You're completely unhinged with your movement.
Yeah, they get 3 words in and they stop.
I think that's what they're for, mostly. Like that level and then just cruising through levels really fast if you're just coming back for stuff.
I mean,
going through it a second time.
You get it so early, it feels like the later levels should take advantage of them. Like my biggest want for a sequel is a game that has levels designed around these boots because they're a lot of fun to use, but not in these areas that they put them in.
Yeah, they need more open world-ish kind of.
I think they're
I'm
fantastic.
stunned there wasn't a racetrack.
It is weird.
Yes, no, that floored me completely.
It does feel like there's a couple of chunks, like maybe a couple of whole levels missing from this game.
There's 60% of the arena fights missing. Please, Insomniac.
60%.
You can
I'd say 90.
Okay, 90. I lowballed it. You can sell them back to me, Insomniac.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
a rube.
If you just make the DLC that's just deadlock the DLC,
yes.
I don't like that game, but I would totally buy that.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
that's what I was hoping for here. I was hoping this would have the best arena of any Ratchet game, but it feels like while it's a decent arena, it's not competing with 2. I would
still feels like
2
first
is definitely
arena.
the best ones.
Yeah, I feel like I would pay $20-$30 for a really great arena package.
Like the last challenge in this mainly just being 2 boss refights just in a row didn't necessarily feel like the best thing. I would have liked at least one unique enemy to finish it off.
Yeah, there's no unique enemy.
No.
Yeah, it's just the like the centipede thing and the bone thing. That's really scary and made Clank say a bad word.
Oh yeah, the Skull Greymon dinosaur.
I forgot about Clank's cursing in this.
They don't even sub it either.
Oh,
and
it's
then
not
Ratchet
right.
goes, "You said it, buddy."
Yeah.
What a good fucking game.
I honestly couldn't remember those fights, even though I did them just last night, because at the point that I got them, they were vaporized in seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
yeah, absolutely.
that undead
Yeah.
thing isn't a boss. I have the freeze grenade and the peacemaker, so it just dies instantly.
Yeah.
But the thing I said about because the game feels a little short, but also it seems like Clank was supposed to have an arc that got cut out. Because I like he shows up and like, oh, he's missing an arm and his feet don't work, and that never really becomes a thing or gets addressed.
Yeah.
Gets addressed. And then later on, you're on the mining planet, and he's looking up at the fixer robot like, I'm totally fine being disabled. I had a whole character arc about it, and this is the payoff.
Yeah.
That did
What?
seem like Clank just improvised that out of nowhere, but it seemed like writing-wise that it was supposed to pull from some sort of moment that happened. And I'm like, man, this is coming out of left field. Good job, Clank.
It's just the whole game like, oh, she's not going to fix him. She's not fixing him. Why is she not fixing him?
Don't worry, she does it in the credits.
Yeah, she does.
True.
There's some good things in the credits.
Yeah,
Yes,
there are.
There is.
The credits have some of the most hope for the next game.
The credits featured what truly makes this an animated film: the bad guy singing.
That's true.
Before the credits, where we see Nefarious visiting Lawrence, his psychic, I was like, is he not in this because his voice actor's a piece of shit and got canceled? And I had to look it up. I had to look it up to make because I'm like he's not in this at all. That seems really strange.
Well, they made a reference to giving him paternity leave earlier in it. It was very, very fucking funny.
I love that it was paid off at all.
Yes, no, that was unreal.
Also, I started to stroke out in the credits when I'm like, that's the fucking Into the Nexus girl.
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
wow,
that's the future trilogy girl.
She's just not even in any of this game at all, but then she's there.
I was okay with her not being in the game. I do want to see her again someday. I don't want her to end up like the character from 2.
Yeah, we don't need to black bag every potential girlfriend, and I'm glad they didn't go with Rivet being a girlfriend for Ratchet. That'd been real weird.
Or being a mom.
That would have been real weird.
Or being a mom. Jesus Christ. Fucking gamer premonitions. Little disappointed that alternate dimension Quark wasn't DC Universe style Quark.
Yeah, Quark was a disappointment. Or Quantum. Because he's kind of like, I like his design to him being super red, but they just don't use him enough.
Underutilized is the
yeah. I feel like him being on the pirate planet was kind of weird, and you don't get a good sense of what all was going on there.
How did I not get? Oh, Captain. Of course he'd be a pirate.
Yeah. Or
I liked that element.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
No, I'm pretty sure the whole idea is that he's been pretending
to be
a robot
for
so
like
he can
20
be a
years.
pirate. Exactly. That's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah,
I can't believe it didn't break down to just now.
He would do that.
I like the idea of that universe Quark, that dimension's Quark, believes that this dimension's Quark is a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, is this a hero-like thing to say? And our Quark's just like, yeah. Yes.
You're doing it, buddy.
Yeah, there wasn't enough regular Quark either. It's a very Quarkless game.
Yeah.
This game is very restrained, and I wish there was more Quark, but at the same time, I'm glad it didn't get bogged down in, here's the alternate dimension version of every tertiary Ratchet and Clank character.
Yes, I'm glad it didn't do that, but it was pretty clear when they have those 3 at the parade, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'll let you get by with, Skids McMart. I'll let you get by with Quark, because of course. What the fuck is Rusty Pete doing here? Then you see alternate dimension Rusty Pete, and I'm like, oh, this is incredible.
I was actually surprised by how restrained they were, because I'm like, really? There's no, you're not going to show, alternate universe Big Al?
Oh, God.
I thought it was fucked up that they just buried in a line somewhere. Yeah, the plumber's this guy's dad. He's Gary's dad.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, Gary, the monk who helps you in the alternate dimension fix the space-time continuum's dad is the plumber.
That's one of the I think that's one of the first things he says in the first scene with him.
He mentions it in the
second.
first scene. He mentions that his dad, met them in the first scene. And then I think it's the second set when you come back, he's like, yeah, my dad's a plumber.
Yeah. I think it's in the credits.
Yeah,
too.
the credits
they
also
showed it in the
just
credits,
him.
and I was like, God damn it, that's really good.
I really expected the fixer to be Big Al, if we're being honest. They fix things. Seems like it. It's also really weird that you go to the same planet that Azimuth was on in Crack in Time, and he's not even like mentioned at any point.
The way they treat Lombaxes with this Dimensionator thing's really weird because every dimension seems to have the alternate universe of someone, right? And then obviously they keep trying to sell Rivet is like the AU Ratchet, but the Lombaxes, I guess they fleed every dimension.
I guess.
And then went to one.
Or maybe
they went to the next game.
Or maybe these are just like the two. These are like the two. The one where Nefarious always loses and the one where he always wins. Can I just say I really like how Emperor Nefarious is still kind of a loser?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the implication you get immediately where all the citizens of Nefarious City are these shitty robots that have no personality beyond worshiping him.
Yes.
He's so great. He's so shitty. The voice actor did so good.
It's fucking Robert Atkins down.
Yeah, I know.
And Travis touchdown.
And he killed it. And then when you beat the game and he does his musical number, I'm dying because he is killing it like it's a Disney animated movie.
I think Emperor Nefarious has a real Liquid Snake bitter loser energy.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up.
Which is fitting because the voice actor was Liquid Snake in all appearances beyond, or no, he's Miller.
Yes.
Who was Liquid Snake impersonated.
He's just so capable when you meet him, and then he spends the last 3 hours of that game loudly coping.
I think it's really funny that he has psychic powers until you fight him and he's a loser and doesn't. Don't worry about it. Another thing that frustrated me with the plot was how often you do something really cool and then immediately drop in a cutscene. Yeah. Like that happens 3 times to both Ratchet and Rivet. Like I was like, well, maybe one of them's
making me nostalgic for Gen 7.
Yes.
I started because I played the Mass Effect series before this game came out, and I'm like, I'm starting to get the vibes of Mass Effect.
Honestly, in this game, it bugged me less than it does in various video games and the occasional anime. Where, your main cast just gets paralysis while the villain gets away with everything. It bugged me less here. This by no means doesn't even... on a scale of 0 to 10, where Astral Chain has to be between those two numbers, this doesn't even place above 2.
Where would you put Killzone Shadowfall in terms of on this list?
I don't know.
Because that's...
I feel like that's higher than this, obviously, because, man, you come up on the target, and you're just like, I'm going to stare at you while you finish your phone call.
Yeah, pretty much.
My job is to kill you. I have no reason not to just shoot you in the back.
Yeah.
It
made no fucking sense. But yeah, no, Astral Chain, the amount of T-pose, it just like get owned, is nuts.
I don't talk. There's nothing going on. There's a scene in this when you're trying to save the Rivet's planet from Nefarious's attack, and then he shows up in a cutscene and goes, "I'm gonna take you to the prison." No, never mind. I'll just throw you into a temporary cutscene hole for 10 seconds so you can talk about your arm and how you may have been assaulted in the past, so that we can finally pay off this kit thing.
It's really funny that this game only has one mystery, I think, and that's it, and you see it from the beginning.
Obviously. And then I saw that, and I'm like, if I was like 11, this would probably blow my mind, I guess. Where I'm like, oh yeah, the target audience has a range.
I have to reveal my brain damage here. I get what they were going for with Kit's design, but I can't look at her and not just see tits on her head.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely what's up.
I'm the only one who didn't think about that, I guess.
Wow.
What? Like she's Girl Ratchet or Girl Clank, so she has boobs on her.
I just went. That's funny. That's funny. She's Siren Head.
And it's part of the problem is that we watched Little Nicky.
God,
earlier this year.
Curse shithead.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wow. It's really unfortunate.
It's fine. I wasn't upset. It's fine. I realize the damage is within me, not without me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't bug me. But...
It's a little bit without us. A little bit.
Yeah.
Hell.
I was surprised when Kit's on your back, she doesn't have any sort of cool thing she does like Clank does with the fans propellers. Yeah, she's just there.
She's just big chilling.
So I'm hoping that if we see a sequel with her playable again, we get to see something like that.
That'd be cool.
Well, I mean, we have hover boots. The robots are irrelevant now.
It's true. Like they're just for show, which is funny.
It's kind of weird.
And probably for the best, but yeah.
They should give Kit a really horrible minigame section like Clank got in like the first 4 games.
Oh, no. God. I liked these mini games they did here with the here you can make a bunch of little Clanks commit suicide.
Those are potentials.
Yeah, it was like an improved version of the Crack in Time ones.
I really liked the last 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Up to them, it just really seemed like tedium and a waste of time.
See, here's the thing. I feel like it's less tedious because the way you engage with the elements, the way you engage with the puzzle elements, it's through moving and actually doing it in the game, not thumbing through an obtuse menu, which some of the older Ratchet and Clank puzzles were kind of like that. But for me, I feel like this doesn't hit the heights that the puzzle design in A Crack in Time did. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like the design there was a bit smarter by the end.
Yeah, I remember having a much harder time understanding those, like getting my full grasp on them in Crack in Time.
Yeah.
Which probably means that they're harder puzzles.
Probably. Probably. I don't know. People listening to this may not be aware we did a 17-hour stream of Clank in Time. Crack in Time.
33 hours.
Yeah, it was 33.
33 hours, Dan.
Yeah, no, that was over
it
a
was
day.
remember, it was your platinum.
Yeah, it was the platinum stream. It's from nothing to a platinum. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this platinum's a little easier than 33 hours, as it turns out.
Just a smidge.
About 14.
But that kind of bums me out. I wish there was more arena or more something else to dig into with this game. I got that platinum really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an easy platinum.
I really wish there was more arena.
Yeah, I wish there was something that, like, more motivation to go through challenge mode, because I liked what I played. But it needs, like, I need a trophy or a cool unlockable or something for beating it.
You get to use the bouncer.
Bouncer. Yeah, the whole reason I even went to challenge
that was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
was to use the bouncer.
And it's unfortunate that because I assume we all got like the deluxe version, they give you the pixelizer early. It's supposed to be a challenge mode thing you buy.
Yes.
I didn't even get the deluxe. I just bought. I just pre-ordered it.
Wow.
And I got
It's a pre-order bonus.
I pre-ordered it digitally. And I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to have this. And I pulled it out and used it. It was way stronger than the rest of my guns.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to have this, so I just ignored it for my whole playthrough.
Yeah, and that pixelizer gun really moots the Enforcer, which is the double barrel shotgun,
is bad
and has pierce
Very
damage.
Returnal-like.
It is.
Pierces and puts a dot.
Yeah, it pierces and puts a dot. I feel like once you get piercing, that
when
gun...
you level it up to 4 barrels, it's nuts.
Yeah, that gun has a point once you get the piercing, because then you can run up an entire mob of enemies and clear them in one trigger pull.
Oh, yeah.
But outside of that, it doesn't do enough damage to a single foe, even when you have the dot, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
The pixelizer, I noticed when you like hold down halfway, it just plays the song on the controller.
Oh, if it's fully leveled, it's charging the shot while you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the fact that it's like playing a ditty.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I'm sitting there listening to this thing on reference headphones, like insane high-end studio headphones, and every time I pull the trigger, the enemy turns into that fucking King of the Hill. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? Every single... I'm like, this hurts, literally, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're talking about guns, I want to know how many people figured out that both the plant gun, the sprinkler, and the ice gun, they have things where if you hit an enemy with it, it makes them take more damage.
Yes.
Those stack.
Wait, I didn't realize
they
stack.
Ice plant?
Ice plant.
Yo!
And then you shoot them with the rocket. Or the rhino and does quad 9s.
Oh, yeah, and you get the rhino, like, maxed out, so it's dropping 5 pieces of shit onto the enemy.
Or the bouncer, and it's just like, yeah, it's gonna keep hitting. Their health bar is half gone in one shot.
Oh,
This is the boss.
that has a real going
Yes.
commando energy to it.
Yes.
Of just use. The
I don't know why
bouncer.
people thought this was hard. I just cut off its kneecaps.
Yeah, I fucking love that. Like, challenge mode. Oh my god, the bouncer's in here. It was too powerful for the base game.
They know.
I'm so sad. The bouncer is the. I thought that they didn't put the bouncer in this game the whole game, Aggro.
Yeah, we
I was
finished
so
that.
sad.
We finished that stream, and only after finishing that stream, that like 14-hour stream, we put it down. I started looking it up, and it's like, oh, it's in challenge mode.
Because the bouncer's the best gun ever made.
Yes.
It's a really good gun.
Oh, I'm so glad the headhunter's back in this game.
Yes.
I wanted it so bad, and then it showed up, and I was like, oh damn.
No, the gun where it's like hit him with ice, hit him with plants, and then do quad 9.
Okay, we gotta talk about the Rhino. I think this is the weakest Rhino there's ever been, and I don't just mean damage output. I feel like it's less incredible of a moment than most of the other ones when you pull the trigger and it just starts shooting shit in every direction and blaring a copyrighted song.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The Rhino's not playing a copyrighted song and basically acting like it needs to be the 4th of July in a gun. Like,
Yes.
that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it feels like for me.
And this is like should have been the Dimensionator.
This should have been some weird Dimensionator gun you got on challenge mode or something, and they should have put something fucking ludicrous in as the Rhino.
Yeah, I'm with you where they just make this a separate gun because there's a good quality to just shooting a gun and going, that enemy died because Jack fucking fell on him.
Yeah, no, I think it's a neat idea.
It's fantastic and neat, and it feels special, and I feel like they devalued that a bit by sticking it where the Rhino slot goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want something that
Yeah.
smites the earth and has a better hitbox when I just want to floss a boss.
Right.
Because there's like the Rhino 1 is still my favorite Rhino. Like, that's how I want that gun to work. I want it to auto target everything on screen, shoot a rocket that'll one shot it. Like they moved on to the ones that start playing the music with the bullet spray and the little rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then they'll do one like with the Zodiac where it just flashes and everything on screen turns to dust. But it's the Rhino 1 is still how I want the Rhino to work.
Yeah. But this thing's really neat. I just wish it wasn't there in that slot, because dropping the dinosaur from Horizon on a boss is unbelievably funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever it just finishes an arena mode and I'm just hanging out with the stupid Horizon robot. And I'm like, hey,
Just-
what's up? I saw the Song of the Deep sub earlier.
Yeah.
I saw the fucking everything shows up or everything dies. I'm like, what's still over there? That's Sly Cooper. Okay.
He's so strong.
If they are not bringing back all of these games they've referenced here, I'll be sad.
Yeah.
Right.
It's such a specific set of things
Right?
that they have to know it's cruel to do this otherwise.
Yes.
Like Song
'Cause
of the
they
Deep,
even-
the
they
Deep
even-
reference, but the rest of them are like, these are series you need to bring back.
People will
They
pop
even-
off hard for all of them.
Like, they even did that tweet when the game came out with Sly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
They
like,
did it with
somebody
Daft as
has
well.
to be working on this.
Oh yeah, and they're also in all of those Lorbs too.
Yes.
Yeah. So is Knack.
So
It'd be
it's
really funny
Yeah,
if
Knack
they end
and
up
Sly
making
and-
Knack 3.
Intelligence Cube is in those orbs.
Yeah,
Orbs.
I sat there it was so outside of my realm of possibilities that what they was referencing was Intelligence Cube that I'm listening to the audio log. It finishes, and I just quietly stare into the middle space going, what game other than Intelligence Cube could it
Because
be?
it isn't that. Did they reference Fan Division?
It was basically that tier. Speaking of which, what was it? I believe Shuhei, random story. Shuhei Yoshida got bitched at by Sony corporate because that Fantavision was one of the few games they got to launch in the PS2 launch in Japan. And he was like, hey, that means I did my job. Where's everyone else's games? It was really good. He was like, why are you giving me shit? I had a game show up.
Hey, I don't see what the problem is here.
Yeah, no. Fantavision should start kind of like Clax does, where it says
It
it's
is
the 90s.
It is
should
the
say
90s.
it should say it is the aughts. There is time for
It is
Fantavision.
the aughts. It's time for Limp Bizkit.
Oh man, but yeah, no, the audio logs of traveling to the other dimensions. I was like, if they just hand Insomniac all these IPs, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Go ahead. Yes.
Now's a good time to tell Aggro about Resistance 4, I feel, because you brought up that some other content.
I was listening to a podcast where, people close enough to like Sony sources said, there's a Resistance 4 pitch. And it got denied because at the time, in the timetables, it was way too close to The Last of Us. Oh. So they're like, no. But thankfully then, like a year and a half later, the Days Gone pitch of zombie game managed to sneak its way in there.
Somehow. I feel like we're in the bad timeline, Aggro.
I have never been more angry.
That's the first thing I told him.
Yeah,
it's like Aggro's going to be furious when he hears this.
How do you get a Days Gone and Last of Us 2 in the pipeline?
But not Resistance 4.
Yeah,
I don't get
Especially after Resistance 3 was so much better than 2.
Yeah.
So, did Resistance 4 got rejected, and then they went and slummed with Microsoft for a little while, and then came back? Is that what happened?
I guess, timeline-wise, that would basically roughly match up.
Because they put up some sort of article or something back at the time where they're like, we're done with Resistance, which I can only assume is when that pitch failed.
Yeah, that checks out.
Kind of line.
We're making. What's the really horrible thing that nobody alive has ever played that they made for EA? Fuse,
yeah.
Fuse?
Overstrike?
No shit.
Yeah.
I had someone helping me move into the house, and I brought up Fuse, and they just gave me this look of, you've said a word in another language. I have no idea what that is. And I'm like, oh, God. So Insomniac made a game for EA, and they're like, no. I'm like, oh, my God.
And then they made a Song of the Deep for GameStop, for their Game Trust publishing firm.
Yep.
Yes, and they made that VR game for Facebook. And I'm still curious if they're going to keep a VR studio up and running for PSVR 2. Because, damn, I want to see some of that shit.
Wow.
Insomniac was like, oh, we're going to make this game for you, EA. Here's our really cool, fun idea. And then EA went, can you remove the fun and the good?
See, the funny thing
and then
is,
ship it.
We don't want it to sell.
The funny thing is Ted Price, which Ted Price in the same talk, I'm pretty sure, copped to, I ruined Resistance 2. He insists that wasn't on EA. He insists the studio just took it in that direction.
I think he's a little too nice.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm like, did Ted Price say that it was his fault? Because I'll believe that.
He didn't say that was his fault. He got out of creatively affecting the games they make with Resistance 2.
Yes.
He apologized to the whole team.
Reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will totally agree with that when you finally play Resistance 2.
When I finally play Resistance 2?
Yeah. It's really close to you right now.
Yeah, I know. But by the way, audience, I'm looking at him right now. This is real bad.
Yeah, this is our first in-person.
This is real bad.
Dan's going to start just sneaking into KZ's room and putting Resistance 2 in his game cases. Oh, wait, KZ doesn't own any because he buys everything digitally.
I don't know. I go into that room and I see the 6th Resident Evil movie, and I'm like, why is this here? He's like, I needed a place to put your key. I wanted to talk about in an important part, probably the strongest arc of the entire game. I want to talk about Glitch, the girl boss of Ratchet, ripped apart.
Okay, did anybody else get the impression with Glitch that like Insomniac really wanted to do more of the Spider-Bot shit they did in the Spider-Man DLC?
Oh man, I didn't think of that once. I'm trying to remember.
Because it's almost exactly the same. They barely use it, but you get to go up and down the walls and the camera flips in the exact same way.
Yeah.
I forgot about that entirely.
I'm thinking of the PlayStation, the like 6th gen classic 007 Everything or Nothing, where they used the Spider-Bot in that a lot. And I was like, yeah, this is just like that. It's real good.
And this almost certainly isn't true. This almost certainly isn't true. But the first thing I thought playing the Glitch stuff was, you guys really want to make a Spider-Verse game, huh?
See, my first thought with the Glitch stuff, like I start playing the Glitch thing, I finish one level and I go, oh my God, this Ratchet Clank minigame is so good you could make a whole game out of it, honestly. Like, it feels really sharp.
Mm-hmm. It felt like a really quirky PS1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that every time she has to like face the camera, give you a nice wink once you're done.
Yes.
And then they started like layering in a plot line in there.
Yep.
With the virus queen.
Yes.
And that one part where you finish and then they ambush you and she shits her pants. And I'm like, this is so good. Like, I'm excited every time we hit one of those.
It's just sad because Ratchet can never tell her how much she means to him.
It's super weird that she can't talk to Ratchet,
Yeah,
but she can talk.
Yes. And she's like, he doesn't know how fucked up it is in here. He just thinks it's like a couple of folders I gotta move.
She's eternal Kohai in there. She's like, I do this for Senpai.
Yeah.
You guys are giving her like a Dobo-esque cancer.
Right.
It's
good.
It's unfortunate.
Like, I better take care of these viruses.
God. I was disappointed that the Master Virus didn't have like a cool boss fight and wasn't hexadecimal.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Hexadecimal.
Okay. I had already kind of figured out that they weren't doing a bunch of like alternate versions of characters in this, but for a second I was like, is the Master Virus gonna be alternate dimension Courtney Gears?
That would have been way too good.
God. Man, you really just shot. Dan, I can't handle this.
That's really good.
Yeah, I know it's really good.
Because now in my head, it's a fusion between Courtney Gears and Hexadecimal.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then like the faces still spin.
Oh my god. Okay.
In the alternate dimension, none of them have testicles. So I'd let you know the quantum's good.
Speaking of which,
Uh-huh.
Speaking of testicles.
We all agree that Rivet is like real good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very well done.
How fucking phenomenal is it that a series this old just added a secondary protagonist at this point, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you make them completely identical mechanically.
Yep.
Yeah, but they can still like have a voice or a level of like writing and dialogue that makes me go, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't like
true.
the new batch, but I like the new batch here quite a bit.
Yeah. No, they're really good.
I like her closet that's filled with the exact same robot arm and set up there like she's Doug.
It's very good that she's a new character, not a combat kid. That always helps when you're making a new character.
Uh-huh.
You could always
Like-
get Cassie Cage.
I like that she has her own version of like the bolt crank. She has the using
hammer.
the hammer as a ratchet.
Mhm.
Yes.
I do love how she fucking like throws the hammer overhead. It's the only mechanical difference between them. How her throwing the hammer and throwing the ratchet are just a little bit different. Or throwing the wrench, rather.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the entire section where she had Ratchet and you had Kit. Like, the fact that
So
those
smart.
cross groupings worked that well.
Mm-hmm.
I started to think like, oh shit, are we just doing this now? Because
Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with it.
Right.
It's a good way to like ease us into these characters by having a new one with an old one, like for a chunk of the game, to the point where I was like, I kind of like this dynamic. And now that we've switched back to all new and all old, I'm like, oh.
Because like Clank gets to work on the new crotchety I don't need a partner Lombax, and Kit gets to basically reap the benefits of years of Clank whipping Ratchet into shape.
Yes, and she gets to have great moments like, I'm an interior decorator.
That was really good. They didn't even have a license.
God.
This game has more dialogue than any other game ever.
You just sit. Like there's the start of the game where the head goon is talking to Nefarious for like a minute straight before I collapse the dome.
Yeah.
Or both Nefarious is just standing there just talking with you and eventually go, okay, go ahead. you can go now. We're out.
Every single enemy has unique dialogue about you using every weapon. That's insane.
Did
is.
anyone else use the electric gun much?
Yes, I used that a lot.
I liked it.
The electric gun is great, and it makes all of them make the stupidest noises, which is amazing.
So on my most recent playthrough, I did a normal new game just to play it a bit before we did this. I picked that up as soon as I could. And the sound they make is so good, I regretted not getting it on a first playthrough because I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then it's also one of the most effective crowd control guns there is.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my god, we were missing out.
As soon as I saw the video that's like, this is chain lightning, and I'm like, I need this. We're going to focus on this. I loved that. I liked the pinball gun a lot because it made funny sounds and lights.
Yes.
And
that was really good. Like mid-range, kill one, move on to the next kind of single target
also for
stuff.
bosses, even the final boss, you're fighting Emperor Nefarious, and it's still making him bounce around like an idiot. He's like, ooh, oh god.
Yeah, that was real good for that fight. I love that the buzz blades were back. That was a favorite old weapon.
It took a while to upgrade. I feel like even when I was focusing on it, like,
Oh yeah,
I
for some
got
reason
near
that
the
went
end to finally
slowly.
get it to 5.
What was the name of the shield gun?
The Void Disruptor.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
I barely
Yeah.
used it.
That
I
thing-
barely used it.
I'll
It
tell
felt
you,
really
yeah,
bad.
like the shield mechanic was like kind of weird, and I didn't use it much. But if you just use it as a shotgun, it's actually pretty strong and has a good wide arc on it. It's great for clearing whole floors of little enemies.
Yeah,
I might have to try that because I was just like, why do I need a shield? I have this is the game where they give you a dodge with a shitload of iframes.
Yes.
Yeah, that dodge
helps so much.
changed Ratchet
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I used it
This
for
game
the
in
trophy.
general, this game in general feels like a lot more like we're making an action game that you can exhibit mastery of because we have fewer enemies, so you can know what they do.
Before we move off of that shield gun,
Yeah.
I really feel like that level 5 upgrade where it absorbs shots and shoots them back, that should just be the standard way that gun works, because then that gun makes a
should.
lot of sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of a pain because I didn't use it at all. And then
Yeah.
and then they're like one of the trophies for the platinum. One of the last ones I had to do was get that to 5, then charge it up, but then get it a mid-range distance because the shot that shoots out that reflects it is the one that they want. for
Yeah,
it.
not the shield.
Yeah, which kind of made it take a little longer than I would have liked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Were there I feel like Phil was saying there were like fewer enemy types, but I feel like you're usually fighting more enemies than in previous Ratchet games.
Yes.
Yes, they only
And
dropped.
I really feel like the Void Dash was a big part of why they felt it was okay to just pile on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They need to patch in a mode where there's even more.
Legendary Dark Lombax.
let me be like, okay, if you want this, you can only be on performance mode. You can't be in either other mode. I'm like, okay.
No ray tracing. That would be too many rays.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Man, that fucking ray tracing looks nuts. Even the ray trace performance mode.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I know we talked about it earlier, but it's the fact they chose Nefarious. So his chrome dome is constantly
Yeah.
reflecting everything.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm really impressed with them because as soon as they showed Nefarious in a trailer, I kind of went, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty done. But then they revealed, here's the successful dipshit Nefarious, and I'm like, I like this guy a lot.
See, that's the
he
thing.
might be one of my favorites.
Until
I was terrified.
go ahead.
I was going to say I was terrified of him before he showed up most of the game because the whole resistance movement thing really has a whole Sonic Sad-Am vibe.
Yes.
So I kept expecting Sad-Am Robotnik to show up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Now that you've said it, I'm like, yeah, Rivet's got the robot arm just like that bunny from Sad-Am. Oh no!
Well, I
She
mean,
also had robotic legs.
that's okay. Aggro's just scarred for life by Sad-Am Sonic, so of course, always thinking of that. What I was gonna say is I was terrified until we got some level of confirmation, whether that was in game or pre-release, that it was like you're gonna meet the other Nefarious. I'm like, worst case scenario, the villain from Tools of Destruction is here. This is where he ended up. He fell into a dimensional rift and ended up here.
Hopefully, we never see that guy again.
That'd be cool.
That would be fan-fucking.
I think they referenced him at one point in this.
I think they
I don't
did.
even remember it.
I think
Because he's the guy who brought in the Dimensionator, basically, right?
Yeah, but they
Yeah, back when it
almost
was a
don't even
hat.
mention him. They don't even mention him in like the alternate Lombax lore.
Yeah, the Dimensionator, that's a hat that looks like a toilet almost sitting on his head.
God.
I spent a lot of time in fear, worrying that asshole would just come out of a corner and be like, I'm here too!
I feel like that's what normal Nefarious becomes halfway into this game, where he's like, hey,
Remember me?
you see,
Not really.
This is like This is also the most pathetic Nefarious has ever.
I almost blacked out when you beat the final boss, and he gets to have his moment of like, you never win, to the most successful Nefarious as he knocks him into the fucking other dimension. Then slips, falls, and gets crushed.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the part early on where Ratchet is just like slowly approaching him with the wrench, and he's cowering like he's just gonna get beat.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's so good because he's like, oh no, please, I'm fragile.
Yeah, I think this is the way I like Nefarious. If he continues to come back, he needs to be that goofy, not real villain.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're saying the reboot version of him, which is the most competent he's ever been, maybe shouldn't be?
Yeah, no.
But I mean, also in Kraken Time, he like controlled multiple planets, and Azimuth was like, Nefarious keeps sending guys after me. And in this one, he's like so fucking pathetic.
They're like, you really expect me to just lose?
Look, he's
Yes.
just gonna go home and be a family man. And
No, it was, what was it? The line was something along the lines of, you think completely obliterating me will mean I lose? Yes.
Yes. That tends to be how this works with us.
That's how that works. We're going to blow your ass.
God, it
You
just
fucking shut up.
It really was sweet at the end where he's like, see, it's not me, it's these two. My universe is hard to conquer.
yeah. See,
Yeah, that was really
this
good.
dude's like, what do you mean Ratchet and Clank are your grand heroes here? And then they
Oh
start.
fuck, we're not in a cutscene. Oh fuck.
yeah,
He won't stop hitting R2. This is a problem.
This- at some point, Ratchet should just be like, you try saying that to me not in a cutscene.
See what happens.
Yeah, because he's introduced and he off screens Ratchet and Clank in a cutscene, and that's your introduction to this guy.
yeah, it's weird.
I know we're past the gun segment, but
Yes.
drill hounds.
I barely used it.
I thought it was fantastic. It's a good way to dump damage. And the fact they go "Arf!" as they jump into the air and explode all the enemies, really good.
Yeah, that metal slap sound effect when they fire is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, holy shit! Yet another game that the DualSense controller elevates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the half trigger pull mechanics were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's really good. It's between this and Returnal, I'm like, okay, we have the proof. This needs to be the future.
Yeah, can
Mhm.
Xbox just rip this off so that they can force developers to just do it?
Believe me,
Not for 3 years.
I'm convinced sometime in the next year and a half, they're just going to be like, here's our version. Because they're Microsoft. They're not slow at copying other people's features. They just either don't until, like, the weird time was the share button.
Where it took forever. That's
and
why
they
we're
put it
back
in the
again.
worst place they could.
Because, like, the PS2 had pressure sensitivity. And then they said, oh, shit, we need pressure sensitivity on our face buttons. And they put that shit in 1 year later. And it's like, no one ever used it.
It's not even just the DualSense triggers. It's literally like all the haptics feel so good. Like
Yeah.
they elevate typing on a keyboard in game.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part that kind of...
That fucked me up. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, can I
Yeah.
get, like, DLC for Cherry MX Red or Cherry MX Blue switches on this keyboard?
I didn't even think about that. Give me some blue switches, please.
It's really good. It's fucking nuts. This really is like, because Returnal's like, you know, you've definitely played a game on a console before where the console has a specific controller, and there's been one game that really makes it sing.
Mm-hmm.
And Returnal could have been that, and from there we just go, yeah, or Astrobot, right?
Yeah.
But then there's this, and it's just like the sentence now has a period. This needs to be the future, period.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, after 3 games like this, it's like, come on, guys. Everything should be this.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a little rough if Microsoft doesn't ship theirs and all these third parties are like, no, this is great. We should put haptic shit in our systems. So now the difference between consoles is, well, on the PS5, you have this unbelievably cool shit happening on your controller.
Yeah.
And on the Xbox, you have 100 more rows of pixels.
I'd ride that. You know, the pregnant pause while you directly look at me with hope but despair at the same time over the future is pretty good.
Yeah, I really hope third parties get on this. This shit's real cool.
It's really immersive in a way that just really plugs you in.
Yeah, and the fact... Also, the 3D audio in this is really good. The fact that they showcase that by the first Hub City being like, hey, follow the sound of the music.
Yeah, and I was able to even just go in a stream and say, if I turn here, nothing. I turn here, you hear it, you feel it.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Yeah, really strong.
They did a fucking stellar job on this game.
Yeah.
I'm glad they directly tease another Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Be a factory.
I wonder if they're just going to do another trilogy.
Right? Like I want 3 this gen at least.
Yeah.
I want to see a conclusion to this Lumbax setup you've been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I'm going to need this on my desk 2 years from now.
It really does feel like this perfectly sets up for the next game to be finally delivering on that arc.
Yes.
Because you get Rivet's perspective on it. You get Ratchet espousing his feelings of like...
Ass of socks.
Yeah, exactly! I'm surprised he didn't just literally say that in this game. I met a Lombax. Azimuth sucks. I'm not sure I want to meet more.
Yeah. I'm glad Insomniac has another massive, amazing AAA franchise where it has 2 protagonists. This and Spider-Man.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh, speaking of Spider-Man, I was like, Spider-Man has a great map. Why is this the worst map in a game?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Bob.
Not great.
The funny thing is you can only put the map marker on pre-existing icons.
Uh-huh.
So if I want to mark a thing that I can see in a map I found online for the location of a specific teddy bear,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, those bears are terrible.
Oh man, I got lucky with those bears. I just got them all.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
Okay,
fucking savant over here.
All right, whatever, man. You got a magnet
I was never
in your
looking
head.
for them. I just look over and go, isn't that one of those weird bears?
Weird. I just found this X in my backyard and dug it up, and there's a bunch of gold.
Yeah.
I found a USB drive with 1,000 Bitcoin. Weird.
A Banjo-Kazooie player'd be like,
There's
This USB drive with 1,000 Bitcoin. Oh, what's in this image folder, I wonder? Huh? Oh, yes, I'll have the meat and the turkey leg. When does the joust start?
that map's fine, Bob. I played Resident Evil 8.
we've had some really bad maps this year.
I didn't really have a problem with the map. What are you talking about? Go on.
So
Yeah.
my problem with the map is the thing I just said. What's up with you, Bob?
You can't switch which map you're looking at on the world. So if there's like multiple floors in a zone, you cannot switch to see them. You cannot look at other parts of the map other than what you're standing in.
Like the ocean planet.
Yeah, like the rigging planet where it's like multiple levels of it, the one that had juice in it.
If 2 icons are next to each other, the one will often just overlap the other, completely eclipsing it. I went to the pirate planet. I was like, I'm missing something here. I have the thing that lets me detect everything.
Yeah.
I don't see that icon anywhere.
Even zooming in, it won't. It's not great.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it is not a well-developed or feature-rich map experience. I just never encountered the problem. I get you.
All the Spider-Man people are over there.
I'm just losing it because I remember the ocean planet where it's just like, hey, Kit, this is the ocean. She's like, wow. 2 seconds pass, like 1 beat, 2 beat, and then she goes, how are you not afraid of the future?
Like, because that was 2 gens ago.
Accurate.
I like tuning into your stream and you're like, I can't find this thing in the pirate planet. What's going on? And then Field pipes up in chat, Turn your camera very slightly. There's one little rift tether.
Yeah. It was I can't figure out how to get to this platform. There are no other platforms I could jump from. He's like, circumnavigate this pillar. When you find it, stare up the whole time. There's a tiny tether rift that you can see from this exact angle on this exact. I'm like, fuck you.
Stare into the sun.
It only lights up when you see it.
Yeah.
That was rough. Luckily, that was just Raritania.
Yeah,
Luckily.
which weirdly enough, of course, isn't.
Only a sucker
finite.
would go for all of those.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no trophy for that, apparently.
No.
And there's infinite because it drops from certain enemies.
Yep, and those enemies are in the Coliseum.
Yes.
Just grind that to max out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy once you have what was the name of the rocket in this? Was it Predator? I can't remember the name of the rocket launcher in this,
The
but
Peacekeeper?
It was
Peacekeepers.
the Warmonger and then the Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yeah, that's
yes.
the level 5 version. God.
Mm-hmm. Also featured.
Yeah, I think that was one from like 1 or 2. It was an old rocket launcher.
Yes,
Good one, though.
It's real good.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I know that thing. That is the grim echo of death.
Yes,
I'm shooting my feet. We're done.
yeah. My 3 favorite things in a Ratchet game that nails them is the rocket launcher, the shotgun, and the grenades. And depending on which Ratchet you're playing, one of those will be weaker.
Oh man, the shatter glove, like the first bomb glove you get in this one, is real good.
Yes, it is. I was
Like
so happy.
its damage curve was huge, and then when it starts like doing pulse damage afterwards, oh man.
Yeah, that was a really good grenade. I feel like because we dive bomb, for anyone who doesn't know, me and Bob had not really played Ratchet and Clank games prior to October of last year when we dive bombed all of them.
Yeah, I played True 3 and really liked that back when it came out, and that was the only one.
And that was like 2005?
Something like that.
3 is really good, though.
Yeah, 3 is great.
I would have loved to try that online. I think the servers,
Yes.
I think there may be some homebrew servers up and running for 3.
So you're saying we should do a Ratchet LAN?
No, I'm imagining the girls from 3 and the fidelity of the newest one's like, oh no, I don't want to see that.
I do. I think that would be really great. I hope the next game brings in some older characters.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to touch bases with more members of Ratchet and Clank.
Right. Like this one, it does feel like a lot of it's built on building up Rivet, which is great. I like Rivet.
Yeah, it's like Rivet, Kid, and then the alternate universe versions.
Yeah. So it'd be great to just see more classes come back and work with this cast.
Yeah.
How fucked up is it that there's an alternate universe Pierre, Rusty Pete, but there's no like whoever the name of the guy is that it was his lead?
Yeah, though, it really bugged me. I kept
Captain
waiting
probably
for
killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably true.
He's like, my plan works if I just let him die. In the same way that they're like, okay, we're gonna kill you because you blew that. He's like, no, it was a good idea.
God, I just remembered the thing about, oh yeah, the pirate trials. The second trial is fighting this monster. Oh, the monster starved his ass because that thing got clogged.
The pirate trials killed me when they're like, okay, Clank, do this shanty. I love women in positions of power.
Yes.
Hey, you know you know what sucked a lot? Quest for Booty. What if we made that, but it wasn't a piece of shit?
Yes. Oh, God, yeah, this pirate planet's way better than that.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think it was one of the better late game planets because I feel like some of the late game planets were a little weaker. Like, I think the one with
World?
Prison World was okay, but I was gonna talk about the one with Juice. How conceptually, I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
but I don't think it delivered on it what it wanted to do quite as well as it could have.
Juice is like the
monster.
Yeah, the monster that's pursuing you throughout. I got the vibe they were going for there.
I thought that was good. I enjoyed that planet more than the prison planet, personally.
It was a really interesting switch up, but yeah, the interacting with the monster felt a little underdeveloped, a little weak.
Right.
Like I would have liked one more big chase sequence running from him.
Yeah, that would have helped.
They only do a little bit like right at the end where I'm like, I feel like you could really get you some good puzzles of do this, then this. It's the only way to avoid not getting your throat ripped out by this dude.
And the mechanic of, like, they even made the whole mechanic of you shoot these bottles, then he just distract him, and then you don't have to use it at all.
You do it
which
once.
is funny.
Yeah.
Just one time. If you don't 100% that area, going back's a nightmare.
Yeah, that too. Like, some of the areas are terrible to re-explore.
Yeah.
I sure missed something in the underwater area where you move as slow as molasses.
Me too. It was Raritanium. I went back and got it and then realized it didn't fucking matter.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah, that when you're underwater on the mag thing and the game's just like, no swimming.
Yeah.
Yes.
They really need some way to, like, menu exit planet. Like, I need that Eggman X
they
metal menu.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, at a certain point, I'm like, can I just warp to ship?
I found that killing myself was often the fastest way to get back,
Yes.
which is crazy.
Because you are right. There are a couple of those planets that are, like, they're really cool the first time. They're like theme park ride hallways, but yeah, they're hallways, so you've got to go all the way through them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the mining planet is the most of a bore to just get back into.
Yeah.
that one is rough.
You have a lot of long maglev jumps.
And you have a lot of switching back and forth between the realities to get to where you want to get.
And then you also have a really long conveyor platform ride.
Which you can jump over, but
yes.
that makes the game, like, scared.
No, it's great.
I got really confused on how to even leave that planet because it starts with the things that the hexagon bridges that you target and then you float over to it.
Yeah, you do those mag.
And I'm like, the ship's there. I can't reach it.
Yeah, you cannot go back.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And then I finally went forward and they're like, here's the teleporter further, and that just warps you directly to your ship.
Right,
Yep.
2 dimensions.
And
which is hilarious.
yeah, through dimensions, which made me go, they really need a take me to the ship. Just take me back to my ship right now.
Just an escape rope.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Like, we're near the end of the game. I've got the Lord vessel. Just let me warp between bonfires.
Next game, you just need the Dimensionator, and it just lets you do that.
Yeah. I will tell you, though, the grind rails in this game, I was really excited that they were here in evidence and really fun. Because in some Ratchet games, they're like kind of perfunctory and bad, and the ones on the Fixer planet were really, really fun.
Yes, they were.
God,
That's what I was
yes.
going to say, too. The Fixer planet was really good about that shit. That was incredible.
Yeah, they put some hard ones in there where it's like you got to be pretty fast, like one that takes you to a golden bolt.
I found out later you can hit some of the shit with a wrench and just not even jump. It's like, what?
Don't ruin this for me.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I had infinite health on, and as you know, if you have the infinite health thing on, you don't even react to being hit.
Yes.
Ratchet just becomes Superman.
The list of gold bolt rewards in this game was really, really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
the part where you turn all the bolts into fucking Monster Energy drink from Sunset Overdrive.
Dan, it's called Overcharge.
Yes, Overcharge.
It's important.
It is.
I mean, honestly, all I did was turn my wrench green and make the numbers go. And
The numbers are the most important
RPG
part.
mode rules.
Yes.
RPG mode's really
I
good.
need to know when I'm doing the big damage.
Yeah,
Yes.
that should just be on by default.
Yeah, I was like,
Honestly.
they could have sold, no joke, they could have sold more copies of this game if it just had that on by default and they showed it off in trailers. Because people like seeing that shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Makes their brains
That's how I knew that grass and ice work together.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. See, that's how you learn the good strats. Overall, I liked the Golden Bolt rewards. People in my chat as I stream my blind run said, you need to get 12 right now. And I'm like, why? And it's like, because they put a Keyblade in this game and it just replaces your wrench and hammer. And I'm like, God, it's so explicit.
It's really good.
Yep.
That menu felt kind of not done, though.
Yes, it
Because
did.
you're switching through stuff, and I'm like, can I get a preview of what this is?
Right?
No.
Also, when it becomes like photo mode set 1, set 2, and it's like a separate part.
Yes.
That is a little weird.
That confused me. I was almost right about the weird filters they could put on the game, where I was going to predict like one that looked like the PS2, but that one they have for film-like, there's a photo mode filter, looks just as debilitatingly bad as I would have hoped.
Oh yeah, I was going through the filters, and I'm like, okay, here's the black and white one, and then this one, and then 3 of them didn't look different in the menu. I'm like, I'm not going to turn this on and back out and come back in. Fuck these filters.
Yeah, they got the ultimate like CRT filter that they just use in the photo modes because they're all the exact same ones from both Spider-Man games.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm used to all of this.
I'm not sure that I died to the creature on the water planet, and as my brain tried to remember it, all I could think of was the Metroid Dread death animation of the spike in the neck, and I was like, oh, that was definitely...
That was not in Ratchet.
That was not in Ratchet.
That's what Bubbles does to you.
And then I was just like, okay, what... It's not that, what is it? And then all I could think of is that terrible Resident Evil 8 death animation, which I'm not even going to describe.
Man, you're going through a lot right now. It just grabs you and puts you in the water.
Oh, okay, really?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. There's also, I think it's like a big fish with a mouth just kind of grabs you, which a lot of games do that, like a big Bertha.
I think the Pirate Planet did that a lot. Where it's just like you've been out here too long.
Oh yeah, absolutely on that water because they have the section where you get on the bug,
The Speedle.
Yeah, the Speedle, so you can like do the course.
We already said it, but I'm saying it again because I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked that there was no race course.
Yes.
Yeah, there could have been a Speedle race course or a Boots race
They
course.
had two different types where they could do some sort of course.
Yeah.
Let me go through rings.
Yeah, there was just that single Speedle thing in the arena during that cutscene.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it feels weird because the race course into the reboot is probably the best part of that game. Like, I really enjoyed that race course a lot. It has shortcuts and smart design and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Then in this, it's like no race course. And I'm like, what?
Sorry.
So Kid Mark is now a Phantom. He can't do that.
That's true. He's too busy being an edgelord who gives himself up to the cops and then says, I'm destroying it from the inside.
And they couldn't put in that cheerleader lady from 1 because they didn't want to have any side jumps happen.
And if it's like, why are you side jumping, Ratchet? Don't ask.
The things just aren't right now. I'm trying to make them right.
Don't worry about it.
This universe is demented. I must fix it. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know where you go from there.
Does anyone have anything else they want to bring up before we start wrapping this up?
The Nefarious Juggernaut looks like a really swole version of Drix from Ozzy and Drix.
Yes, it does.
I don't know what that is.
When's the Ozzy and Drix podcast? We're the protectors of the city of Hector. That's the Osmosis Jones TV show.
Oh, I see.
Where they made it Ozzy and Drix.
Okay.
Where cartoon Bill Murray sneezes and then they travel to a young Spanish boy and live in there.
I see.
Yeah, this was on Kids WB in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does anyone else have anything else they want to mention about this game?
I don't think so.
I like the fixer a lot. I think that was probably one of the higher set pieces.
It was good.
Going through the rails,
Yeah,
weaving.
the picture was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was neat. I do find it funny that Aggro's like, yeah, they cut an arc out there. And I'm like, yeah, that explains why I thought Clank was really inventive.
Yeah, I just assumed he was really inventive.
Yeah,
That's kind
that
of
was
his
my
deal.
vibe too.
He's like, I'm
Right?
fixed.
Yeah,
and
no, it's just like,
I am
look at him,
improvising.
I am.
like, he looked at him and he's like, okay, I think I figured out your entire psychological problem.
Right? Yeah.
Time to manipulate you.
Scooby-Doo over here diagnosed his entire fucking psychosis on spot.
Look, Clank is used to this by now. He's dealt with Ratchet's horrible mood swings.
He survived through Ratchet 1. He's
Yes.
clearly a really good de-escalator.
That line was really
yeah.
good when he's doing the final puzzle and he goes, oh no, I'm doing that thing when Ratchet does when he's really stressed where I just talk to myself.
Yes.
Oh no.
That was really good. I also appreciated, what was it? There was a moment where he's just like, yeah, this... He was trying to talk about how Rivet has hangups with robots or whatever or something. And there's just this moment of, yeah, but Ratchet was a psycho when he made you do, so this isn't any different.
Yeah. There's a really great line on Sargasso when you're fighting some of the goons that have rocket packs. And Rivet goes, oh man, Bolts, I wish you had a rocket attachment. And
Yes.
he's like, yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I
Remember
wish
the
you had a
first game?
jetpack.
Remember multiple games where I was a jetpack and I guess I got those removed?
Yeah, no, that sent me. I'm like, but you should.
Right?
What happened?
They really had to hammer home that it's like, yes, this is following up those old games when they're like, yeah, we haven't done anything for 2 gens.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
We've been gone for a long time.
Nefarious has been gone for even longer.
Yes.
I was expecting a fucking line where it's just like, how long do you think we've been out of commission? Would you say it was 6 years or 10 years as a nod to the reboot?
They're like, I can't believe we signed our rights over to a movie. And then they made a game on that movie. If they had done that, I would have passed out.
Yeah, that would have been psychotic. Okay. Well, I guess we need to wrap things up. This is the part where we're going to say exactly another longer, more specific summary and then give this game a score out of 10. We're going to start with Dr. Aggro.
This is the second coming of one of my favorite series. This game is incredibly fun to play. It does have some rough edges, and like I said, I feel like it got some content cut and it feels a little short. But holy shit, it looks like hope for the future and the promise of better games to come. I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Okay. Now we're going to move to Bob.
I enjoyed this game a lot. I talked about the things I had problems with, but at the same time, like I had a lot of fun all throughout. This game is just really great to look at. But at the same time, I could see exactly the things I would change to make it better for a sequel. So I'm going to give it a 9 because I feel like just a little bit, and this could be a 10. Honestly, it's real good.
Okay, there we go. It's entered in the database. We're going to go to KZ next.
Yeah, this game's truly exceptional. I remember seeing a review, and they were bang on with playing this game is that same eye-opening thing of seeing a Dreamcast running Soul Calibur and going, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Overall, the visuals sound really good. Overall, I really enjoyed the story. I think the characters were done really well, and the gameplay was super tight. There are some stuff that I feel like I wish they expanded on, and some moments like one of the side quests, me having issues with it. But it's still really, really good, and I feel like a sequel could just perfect this type of game. So I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay, next we'll go to Feel.
This game is pretty close to perfect. The only things that I don't really like about it is I wish there was more arena.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Insomniac, give me more arena.
Let me just play.
Yes, let me just be like, okay, fight 500 guys.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you made really good weapons in this game. Also, there was some bugs like me having to spend 30 minutes figuring out how to get into challenge mode.
Yeah,
Because but I'm gonna give this a 9. I liked pretty much everything about it.
As I sit there and go, yeah, I'd pay $30 for more arena. And someone's like, really? You think this is $100 game? And I just stare them in the face and go, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, really great music. Like the dramatic sting in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck in my head for so long.
Devo really went in.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark Mothersbaugh fucking did their work on this. Weirdly enough, it's a combo soundtrack between Mark Mothersbaugh and the composer of Knack. Very strange.
He is a strange creature.
So you get that sort of movie orchestra sound and Mark Mothersbaugh techno.
Yeah.
And punchiness. I really appreciated the soundtrack. I really appreciate a lot of things about this. I think it's a stunning next-gen experience. I think it was really fun. By and large, in the gaming landscape, it doesn't really fall short, per se, compared to a lot of games outside of, a little bit of a lack of QA, when it comes to bugs and other things. And I wish there was more. I wish there was more game here. I really wish there was more arena or race course or any of that.
Yeah.
But it's a stunning experience and a really great time. Definitely recommended. And I hope that next Ratchet game is the perfect Ratchet game I've been waiting for. That has all the arena and an even better set of levels. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 9. I do think this is a truly, truly great game, and people should definitely try it. Okay, that got 3 times the score of Killzone Shadowfall.
What? No way.
What do you mean?
Oh, wait. Oh, it's 4 points short of 3 times the score. Jeez. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, run it through. What are we looking at over there?
So for the aggro spoiler cast, there's 13 Sentinels coming in on top with a perfect score. Killzone Shadowfall coming in with 16, and this coming in at 44. So, Ratchet Clank Rift Apart did pretty great. It's not fair to hold everything up to the standard of 13 Sentinels. This is an incredible game. Now we have to answer the even harder question. Is this acceptable to buy for $70?
Oh, 9 out of 10. No, not worth it.
No video game is worth $70. That would be a terrible segment to add to every single PS5 thing.
That would.
All right, so we're doing a spoiler cast on this title that was $30. Is it worth the $30?
Actually, I don't know how much people on this podcast paid for 13 Sentinels, because we got into it way past launch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm the only one who bought it at launch. Wait, maybe you did too and just didn't open it?
I just didn't open it,
okay.
Yeah.
I bought digitally, so it was still full price.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Whatever's worth it, give them the money.
You got to wait for Golden Week.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for listening to this Ratchet Clank Rift Apart spoiler cast. Bye. I'm stealing Bob's bit.
Oh, no.